And we are recording.
Okay. So, last time we all met, the party finished investigating the spirits of the dead that we had recently encountered, one of which being a shop owner who we unknowingly beheaded, not intentionally. After doing so, we proceeded with our investigation by moving on to the Cursed Princess to take a peek at the happenings there. Upon entering the Cursed Princess, we discovered that it was speed dating night, which apparently, I think if I remember correctly, every night is speed dating night.
Every night is speed dating night.
Yeah, which was interesting to find out. Some of the party engaged in speed dating, specifically Briar and K2 with varying degrees of luck.
The usual suspects for any shenanigans.
The usual suspects indeed. Briar nearly scared her first date off by talking too much about the death of his kinfolk. Then she had a very interesting conversation with a hippy-dippy woman who was not digging K2's vibes when they had conversed later. But he made up for that by finding time to speak with the...
That was completely one-sided. It was like I sat down and she was like, "No!"
Yeah. He sat down and then she vibe checked him and did not like what she found.
I would also like to point out
accurate.
that her first date was actually Silverton's traveling bard that she just scared.
Oh, that's true.
Yeah,
that is also a thing that happened.
Yep.
Anyway, yeah. After having a much nicer time speaking with a famous writer who he respects a great deal, K2 kind of ended date night feeling good about himself, and Briar went to go shoot her shot for a second time at the gentleman that she scared away, which oddly enough was successful. They were leaving the bar together, whispering sweet nothings in each other's ears. And
it was very one-sided on that front.
Yeah, it was. But yeah, they were walking back to an undisclosed location when they came upon the leg of what is assumably a Triton, but it's at this point just been identified as a blue leg. And that's what you missed.
That is correct. So, since Tori's not here, I'm going to make a judgment call on Briar's next move, which I feel would be like to take this section of leg back to the Cursed Princess and just hand it off and say, "Here's your problem, alright, bye," and then leave.
Accurate.
Who did she hand it off to?
Whoever she talked to. It might have been. Well, they're.
Hanging out outside. Yeah. She probably would have just given it to whoever was closest to her.
Therenex refused to engage in date night. So.
Yeah, probably Darkalion.
Yeah, probably.
Because he's the only one out there that she actually knows.
I was up on a roof. She probably never saw me, so.
Mm-hmm.
Well, either me or Salvix then.
Hey, someone. In either case, we have it.
She hands it to somebody, and then goes on her merry way.
Are we at least told where?
Yes.
Okay. So upon someone being handed a leg, I guess we go check it out.
Alright.
Why is it always us?
Spite.
It's starting to make us look bad. We keep finding them, and it's weird.
So you guys go to the spot.
Why is it us always finding bodies? Good question.
Oh my god, I need to definitely turn some people up.
It's a strange habit to have.
We go to the spot.
Yep.
What do we see with our special eyes?
You see some blood. Not a lot of blood, just some. Dude, and what looks like the mark of the leg on the ground, or the section of it you have, like it had impacted the ground. Not that it was set there, but there's actually like an impact mark. Yeah, so that's there.
Is there anything up?
This is out in the middle of the open, so
And none of the
There's-
people hanging out outside saw anything.
nope.
Sadly, I did not see anything from being in said area.
It was about 250 feet away from our position, so
In the middle of the night, in an unlit area.
Yeah, it does make tracking that sort of thing down kind of difficult.
yeah, the farthest dark vision we have is 60 feet outside.
Same day.
Cool. In the surrounding area, is there any other body
Make an investigation check.
parts or body or? Because right now we got a leg, and that's a good start.
You got a part of
So
it.
what's your? You want some help with that? What's your
Please.
I would
investigation?
definitely
Please, oh my
be
God,
investigating
please.
too.
So
I don't
I'm
care
gonna
who, just give.
say I'll say. Can
got
someone
a
else give it to
+7.
Darkalion so I can give it to Sarah next?
Oh, no.
I will give to Darkalion.
Excellent.
Wow.
Yeah.
yeah.
All right. Sarah, next you find a couple body parts.
Oh.
Darkalion, you find a lot more body parts. Everything, like the body is in, based on the portions that you found, it's probably in like 20 pieces.
Good lord.
You do not find a torso anywhere.
Oh, lovely. Slice and dice.
Do we find head?
You find the head, you find portions of the arms, the hands, the
Is
fingers.
it who we think it is?
Oh, it's exactly who you think it is.
Who is it?
It's the traveling bard.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yup.
Oh, that's right. I keep forgetting it's a Triton.
Yup.
I heard
Yeah.
blue. I heard blue body part earlier, and I just keep thinking it's like a blue dragonborn.
Nope.
It's just hard to imagine him as anything past douche.
Yeah.
I mean,
Well, now
true.
he's dead, so.
Dead douche.
That is really easy to imagine. It is the end of everything.
Well, I'm assuming we're going to alert the authorities and deal with this more in the morning.
Unfortunately, that seems like the best option.
I will find the closest guards and lead them over to what we have discovered.
Okay.
Again.
Yeah, you find a couple guards that are patrolling the area.
Like, hi, it's us again.
Hey, what do you
Hi, we
find?
found more.
Uh,
Hi, come with me.
yeah, they just see Arcalion and just start following him. Just, god damn
They
it.
start instantly, what do you want? What'd you
No.
find?
I walk up, they're like, where is it? I point.
Yeah,
No.
they follow you over to the gathering of body chunks.
Tell them what little we have discovered so far, and
I mean, at
tell them-
least we don't.
yeah.
As well as the
Oh.
bits of body chunks that you found that don't necessarily have a part that they're attached to, and they're just chunks of flesh and skin. You
Well,
can
yeah,
pile
keep saying
everything.
chunks like that.
You could pile everything into a well-distributed pile. And they just
Gross.
say thanks and send you off for the night, unless you want to stick around for whatever reason.
We stick around for a few minutes after to answer any questions they have, but after that, we let them know we'll probably be back in the morning to do further investigation when
Yeah,
we're
that's fine.
refreshed and have a full team because we're down a couple.
Yeah.
Should I run back and get K2, at least let him know, or should I just wait till tomorrow? Actually, if he did the date night,
he's
he'd
your
probably
friend.
just wait till tomorrow.
I think that's
Well, Mike said that K2 was giving advantage to Callian.
Oh,
Oh yeah, so he's here.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I didn't think I was elsewhere.
Oh, I thought
unless-
you were conversing with the guy afterwards. I
Was
can't
that an
remember.
option?
On...
I don't remember.
I thought
I
it
wasn't
was.
here.
Yeah, I think the implication was when Briar was leaving, you were still talking with the writer.
Oh,
I
then I
think,
would have kept doing that then.
yeah, I think that was the implication. I mean, in either case, the result doesn't change if K2 wasn't there to give help. So
Yeah, the advantage, the second one was lower, so it didn't matter.
Yeah, that's fine.
Yeah, so date night times 2 for some of the party. Yeah, so I guess morning.
yeah, I don't have any other ideas.
Yeah.
Yeah, I say let's just call it for the night and regroup tomorrow and figure it out.
All right. Are you going to let K2 know what happened, or are you just gonna let him be in there?
I mean, I don't want to interrupt. I don't know where he's headed because the chat thing wore off, so I can't communicate, but I'm assuming he'll figure it out. So I'll just leave him be for tonight and let him do whatever he's going to do.
He's a capable individual. He'll
Exactly. I mean, yeah.
And he was never seen or heard from again.
I don't want to be. I don't want to be that guy that interrupts at any kind of date, whether it's going good or bad. I just don't want to be that third wheel, or the interrupting third wheel, so to speak.
Sure.
Interrupting Orange.
So you guys are calling it a night. K2, what's your plan for the evening?
Well,
There's a long delay there, but okay.
I think I feel like this is one of those things where K2 usually would go just just kind of go with the flow, and then it just becomes one of those things where they don't even leave together. They just just spend the whole night just talking at the bar, and it just everything comes easy, and it's like, holy shit, is that the sun?
Yeah, he's one of those people that would definitely do that. So
Yeah, I got that vibe too.
So yeah, you talk through the night into the morning, and he decides after the sun comes up that it's probably time that he catches up on some sleep before he just passes out.
Yeah, I should
Right
probably
there.
do that too. Seeing how I had a very long day and then a very long night. So, yeah. there's like a moment where it's like, do I take this further? And then just like oh god, I'm fucking tired and kind of drunk at the same time. Maybe not.
As you
But
guys,
yeah. Go ahead.
you he says his goodbyes to you before kind of partially drunkenly leaves. Stops like partway through and shakes his head a little bit to try to sober himself up. Doesn't work at all, but before he walks off into the sunlight.
I think K2 doesn't go back where he was originally planning on, like where everybody's like staying. I think K2 just kind of like wanders around in like the very early morning, and then like um go, everybody's like staying at like the ship, right? That's kind of like where we've been staying.
I think so.
Yeah. So after just kind of wandering around in the morning for a bit, just like after seeing like the night end and like the people who he's been like spending the last like week with getting to know starting to get to work that day, he just casts flying himself, drifts up into the crow's nest of the ship, and just passes out in the crow's nest.
Yeah, that checks out.
Nice.
Yeah, easy enough. You would see the pile of body parts as well on your way over there.
That's
Would K2 in his state actually notice them though?
a great question.
Make a perception check at disadvantage.
Yeah.
Because like he might see them and just not actively recognize what the fuck they are.
10.
Nah, keeps on going. Doesn't even register.
Like,
See a couple of guards standing next to a pile of blue stuff, and you're like, yeah, whatever.
Somebody painted a mannequin blue and then broke it apart. That's weird.
Yeah. So the rest of the party, sans Briar and K2, what you doing?
Hmm.
That's a good question, Captain.
It is indeed a good question.
And are we planning on, like, I don't know, I guess, like, how much longer are we planning on staying in High Gulf? Like, there's stuff going on here, yeah, but I don't know how much any of it has to do with any of us.
Depends on how many more damn murders we
I
come
did
across,
not mean to
honestly.
click on that.
What was that, Crystal?
I hit buttons I did not mean to hit.
Oh, okay. This seems to represent a dynamic shift in choice of victim if we assume that this death was the same as the others. Though
It is indeed very much a departure.
this one, so I was kind of looking at Darkelion. Your Triton companion seemed to have some history with this individual.
Yeah, maybe we should pull her back in for this too.
Maybe. At least in this case, this person was known. Maybe not well liked, but known.
But known enough, yeah. Well, I guess we're gonna go find Rava.
It doesn't venture out much. Like,
Yeah. Smoothie shop, house, maybe the ducks.
House.
and it's early morning, so let's guess house.
Probably.
Yeah, more than likely.
So yeah, you guys go find Rava.
Mm-hmm.
She is at the house.
Wow. See,
She
I
would
need to
be.
know for my soul, how do you go to the house? Being on the front door?
Sure.
You sneak through the windows and scare the shit out of her? Like, let's...
No, we're gonna knock on the door.
At that point, it takes a minute. And it's just... What's up? Thank you.
Hi, we had an interesting night last night.
Okay.
We found your bard friend. Well, parts of him, anyway.
What?
Yeah, we stumbled across parts of the bard, so to speak.
He
We
was
found his extremities, but not his.
We never found his torso, so. So yeah, that happened. Sorry. I know you never cared for him, but still.
Yeah.
To lose one's brethren is always a tragedy.
Yeah.
Yeah, we figured you might want to be involved with this investigation when we go back and see the guards about it. I mean, if you don't want to, that's fine as well.
She just
It's
kind
entirely
of
up to you.
stands there in the doorway for a second and is just, I gotta call Dad. Yeah. I mean, like, 20 minutes. And then she just moves out of the doorway, so, like, they come in. My brother's asleep. They're all asleep. Like, if you guys want to come in.
Sure.
And I'm guessing her dad definitely left a way to get a hold of him in emergency. Because his kids aren't fucking home. But whatever the hell that is.
Yeah, you phone home.
E.T. go home.
Yeah, it's basically just a rapid message send.
Yeah, just I don't even remember what the fuck I actually named this guy. I don't know if I actually did.
Thought you did.
I don't remember. I just always referred to him as the whore.
Oh, that guy. Yeah, no, you didn't name him. Thought you meant your dad. I was like, I know.
No! No.
Dad, you whore.
Wow.
Yeah, so just in general, phone home, say whoever the fuck has passed definitely was murdered. Really appreciate you being here. Thanks, love you, bye. And awkward and I don't fucking know what to do in this situation. And then
Fair.
get ready for the day. Yeah.
All right.
And then leave a note being like, hey, we should call mom when I get back. Shit happened. And then leave that where her brother and they'll see it and just, okay. Yeah, what are we doing? I don't. Let's go, I guess.
Okay.
Okay.
So I guess we head back to the scene of the crime.
All right.
Totally not suspect.
Totally not sus. It's fine.
Don't be suspicious. Don't be
Don't be
suspicious.
suspicious. Don't be suspicious. Don't be suspicious.
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 Don't be
Alright.
specific.
You guys head back to the scene of the crime.
Mm-hmm.
And it's the same as when you left it. Although it's two different guards now.
Whoa.
And this
One of
isn't
them-
like a... Go ahead.
What? One of the guards is just like looking at each of the body parts to kind of figure out what they have. And has kind of marked off a few of the areas where he could clearly tell where each body part was. And every time that they find something, the area that they have, sectioned off gets bigger and bigger. So right now, the area is about a 30 by 20 rectangle.
Oh my god.
He's literally all over the place.
And as you roll up, he begins to expand it out to about a 30 by 30. And the other guard is just sitting there, drinking his tea.
How nice for him.
Classy.
Actually, he's standing. They don't have chairs.
That was just sitting on like a rock or something.
Nah, rocks around here are too small.
Mood. Yeah. Okay. I was just kind of like post up next to the dude taking notes and just kind of look at what he's doing. What he has, and then just like, yeah, like 3 of his fingers were already missing, so don't worry about those.
That explains why we've only found 7.
Yeah.
Was he also missing his torso?
She just kind of looks at him.
Really?
Oh, sorry, dumb question. Right. Was he missing any toes?
Not that I'm aware of.
Okay.
Why would we know that?
I mean, it's a fair question. We knew about the fingers, so maybe we knew about the toes, but I can understand. But I don't know him, so.
How clean are the severances between each part?
Not clean at all.
So it looked more
They look
like he was
more like they were
ripped,
like
ripped and torn instead of sliced and diced.
More so, yeah.
I mean, it could still be sliced, but more via claw than via blade.
Yeah, that's what it sounded like at this point.
we also found the spot that the head landed. There's a few teeth over here, as well as he like pulls out the lower jaw.
Right.
Lot of trauma to the body.
Yes. Thought past what would be necessary simply just to kill.
Oh, definitely.
This was angry.
Maybe whatever did this may have been expecting someone else. Something else.
I don't know. Maybe.
Quick question, Josh.
Mm-hmm.
Thinking back, hold on, I got a cough. Sorry. Thinking back, I'm assuming we saw the people that were outside, like kind of keeping an eye on things. I'm assuming we saw roughly what time the Bard guy left.
Roughly, yeah. It would have been more than 10 minutes after Briar went in.
Okay.
Actually, it was even before K2 went in, so it was literally a couple of minutes after Briar went in.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. I was just wondering, like, getting a rough time estimate. So.
Dude, where's K2?
Sleeping.
Oh, that was Rava asking.
Oh.
He has not shown himself yet today.
Where's Briar? This is concerning.
Briar is indisposed at the current moment.
Mm-hmm.
They had a date night thing last night at the bar, so we're assuming they
Are they
found
still doing
people
speed
to-
dating?
apparently. But I'm assuming they found some people to converse with or
Well,
whatever.
we know Briar did. K2, not entirely certain, but probably.
Let's be honest. I know K2 well enough. He probably did. So
I got that impression, yes.
Right. Neat.
I would ask if he had had any enemies in life, but it seemed like it would be more accurate to ask if he had anyone that actually liked him.
His mother. Yeah, had a habit of pissing everybody off where he went. So doubt it's a personal thing, honestly, though, because he pissed people off for years. I just...
I think what troubles me most, perhaps just simply beyond the entire spectacle of the scene, I don't know if the removal of the lower jaw was intentional or not, but in any case, that stops any viable attempt to ascertain what the body might have known. It's entirely possible that it could have simply been another casualty of whatever frenzied rampage this was, or something maybe more little and potentially more calculated. Though with the sheer amount of violence here, I do not necessarily think that's the case.
Much more than say what I know of him, I really don't think I'll be too much more help than I really have been. I have no idea, man.
Well, at the very least, from what we know of everything else, this marks a first. It's a change in victim. Everyone prior was utterly unknown. While he might have lived in infamy, that means that people knew about him.
Which means we may have to compile a list of people he's pissed off, and it might be long.
Tried just the city in general. Most females of any race. I probably had. That's crazy.
Given his profession and the fact that he was a man about town, would it not be entirely possible that he maybe saw something or heard something that someone wished he might not have? Maybe whoever is responsible for the rest of the murders that have happened. Seems more likely that be involved with that than just be a new spontaneous murder.
Have we found a head?
Yes, and the
Close
jaw
to
is
it.
removed from the head.
Fuck.
Yeah, which means we can't cast the spell.
They may know what we've been up to. We should be wary.
Yes, our Inquisition has been more specific than the Queen's. The Queen is more concerned with standard questions that might pertain to funerary rites as such. That's right. We weren't there for that, never mind.
What do you mean?
I was about to bring up a point, but Savix wasn't
Oh.
there to...
Doesn't matter.
I know the point. Savix does not.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I mean, maybe. No, that won't work because we can't ask. He doesn't have his jaw, so she can't ask either.
Mm-hmm. I mean, above game, a point could be made that the bard has witnessed at least part of one of these crime scenes before.
Has he?
See?
Yes.
Which one?
When Briar dragged him into the alley.
Oh,
Oh.
shit! You're right.
Yeah.
Yeah, but the only ones that were there for that were Rava, Briar, K2, and Darkalion.
Listen, man, I forgot about it.
No, I know. That's why I'm saying I remember it, but Salvix wasn't there for it, so I couldn't bring it up with Salvix.
Thank you for reminding me, mysterious voice in the sky. Haha. He. That first murder we were here for. Briar decided to use him as a lunchbox, and that's how she found the first body.
I see. Possible he may have seen much. It's also possible he may have seen the creature before it killed him. Or whatever did this.
Definitely has the markings of an animalistic attack. Well, at least,
Question.
bestial in nature.
So I already know that, like, yeah, his leg had if it had been dropped from high up. Is that how all of the pieces are?
Not all of them, but most of them.
What
Has
ones
it-
are just the little pieces, or
The feet.
the feet?
As if he was slammed into the ground from standing.
Maybe.
That's the only thing I can think of.
I guess it would be more the feet and the shins.
So wait. You said that it looked like things were dropped from high up?
Well,
Yeah, all but the feet and the shims.
Well, they were found in impression craters, meaning that there was a significant force that put them there.
And blood splatter.
It doesn't necessarily mean it fell from a high place.
When I hear that, and this is just me talking, but my assumption when I hear that is that something may have grabbed him from the air and did so with such force that it cut his legs off, or maybe their intention was to delimb him and take
Or
his.
maybe whatever it was dove through the torso.
That is also a possibility.
In either case, it was a high force impact enough to cause almost everything to scatter.
It's more interesting to me that these things didn't just explode. The fact that they were solid enough to leave craters is strange, but
Just spitballing here. Some of the other things were able to swim in the ground, correct?
Mm-hmm.
Would it be plausible or even possible that one of them could have grabbed him and tried to pull him underground, thus causing him to be shredded, ripped, and crushed? It's just a thought. I'm not sure if it's
No,
even
no,
possible,
that's...
but, I'm curious if anybody might think that as well.
We don't entirely know how the potions of land swimming work. It's possible. Although I would expect that there would probably be more damage to the legs if that were the case.
yes. I feel as though we just have too few pieces of information to make any form of solid judgment at the moment.
And absent a complete jaw structure, we won't be able to ascertain any answers from the corpse itself.
I feel as though we've come up against a wall.
I honestly think the most we can do is if K2 is willing to do that time walking witness thing and see what happened, but that's about it.
That
Won't
would,
get much
at
answers.
present, yeah, I think that would be our best best bet at present.
That requires we understand the specific time when it happened.
Well, we know what time we were alerted and we saw when he left, so roughly how much time was in between the time that we saw him leave and the time that Briar came back to us, Josh?
About an hour.
About an hour.
Oh,
Yeah.
so that narrows it down to within an hour. So that's not awful, but
It's not awful, but above game, that spell is a minute
yeah, I know.
duration. So
Yeah, but remember, Josh said that he's not going to be that like specific about it. You can just choose someone's time of death, and that's fine.
okay,
As long as we have a decent time frame of it, I believe.
okay. I didn't remember that. So okay.
So I think with that above game as well,
Mhm.
we can probably have him figure that out, or at least see what time when it happened.
Yeah.
And what happened?
Whenever he comes back to us.
Mhm.
Yes, whenever we find him.
It'd be nice if he would find us. Might be easier that way.
I mean, that might probably be the case. If he goes home and or goes back to where we were and sees we're not there, then he'll probably shoot us a message or something. At least that's what I'm guessing / hoping.
Until such point as we reconvene, though, what else can we do?
I mean, not much, honestly. Nothing I can think of.
I will say a prayer for his swift return.
Above game, I mean, we can go back to the bar and, discuss who he talked with, but then again, we also had people there that would have seen who he had talked with, so. Yeah, I can't think of anything else, honestly.
Yeah. Gotta hit a dead end.
Yes.
Yeah, until we can get K2.
Well, perhaps we search for him while I search for breakfast for my daughter. All right, waffles.
Waffles.
Yeah.
That's what I had for
I
breakfast.
must secure waffles.
Seems like our best option at the moment. Unless something else comes to light in between then and now.
Yes.
You guys go get food. I'll go back to the boat and see if I can wait for K2 if he meets us there.
Robert will give the dude taking notes information such as like name and what the fuck.
Name and what the fuck.
Yep.
There's
All
the
the
session
what the
title.
fuck.
Name and what the fuck.
Sure. All right.
Yes.
So what now?
I secure the waffles.
Waffles secured.
I'm sitting at the boat waiting for K2. Meditating while I wait.
All right.
No idea.
Guess it depends on when I wake up. If I wake up.
Yeah.
K2 wakes up dead.
Which is
Man, how do you
Right.
wake up dead?
As a revenant or a reborn
Or
or any other possible kind of undead.
or a spirit
Okay,
disconnected
Edward.
from the body.
As a ghost possessing your own zombie corpse.
It's almost as if Ryan has thought about this before.
No.
It would be like 7 hours from now.
I guess I'm just. It's not that I don't want to do more. It's just I am honestly I have no clue how to proceed from here.
Same, honestly. Like, I feel we should be doing something because 7 hours is a long time to wait, but at the same
I
time,
feel like we're missing something,
fuck
and
we
we're
do?
just we just can't fucking see it.
I mean,
that's
that's got to be
possibility.
it. Like, there's got to be something here. I don't know, because we don't know of any associations like he had specifically outside of that he was the bard who went around
Mess.
town and seemed to
Yeah.
like piss off everybody. Like, it didn't seem like he had a lot of friends that we could go and talk to see what he was doing or why he was doing it.
We can ask around at the
Um,
ends.
I suppose it's like, well, okay, so this is the way, Josh, this is my question, right? So if all of us were watching guard outside of the bar, and if he left before Briar did, which he must have because he got murdered in the time that we were all sitting there, like, what time did we see him go past us? And how, like, can we estimate how much time went on between when he passed us and when Briar found him?
Yeah, it was about an hour.
About an hour.
Oh, okay. I don't know. I feel like there's got to be something there that we're missing, but he didn't. Like, we can't ask if Briar or K2 saw who he was talking to, or if he like.
Well, I mean, to be fair, the only one of them that saw him in the bar was Briar, and it was for like 30 seconds.
And then he left.
Yeah, and then he was fucking gone.
When we saw him leave, I'm assuming he left alone, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay.
I believe so.
Yeah, he booked it.
He walked out of there at a brisk pace.
Yeah.
How far away was the first piece of him that we found from where we were? Like, it didn't seem like it took Briar very long to happen upon his corpse.
From where you guys were, it was about 200 feet.
How far in general from the bar?
About 250 feet.
About 250. Okay.
So not terribly far, but not really close. Definitely not close enough to see anything.
No, it was. Yeah, not close enough to see, and if he was taken by surprise, he wouldn't have had time to cry out or anything like that we would have heard.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, like, unless it was like an instant death blow, like.
I mean,
And it seems like it was a pretty brutal attack. I feel like he would have made some sort of noise.
I mean, if he got fucking pile drived into pieces,
And if it took his jaw off, like right before it happened, then you know.
Even if he wouldn't have.
Jaw.
I feel like it's very hard to detonate a person like that without making a substantial amount of noise.
I mean, this
I can
is
do it.
Yeah, like this is.
It's like because it had to be some sort of like it couldn't have been. I mean, I guess I can't say it couldn't have been magic, but it couldn't have been anything terribly like powerful and impressive. But it have been because it was just like you feel like they would have like given off some light or made some noise that someone would have noticed.
If it was an explosion of some kind, I believe we would have found slightly charred
What's around
pieces.
the area where we found him?
Nothing.
Just impressions in the ground is about the most we found, right?
Yeah, that's it.
Well, I was meaning just like area in general, but yeah. So there's nothing around.
Terrain features.
People
No,
wouldn't
this
be
is
there.
a section in
Yeah.
between the city and the tavern. Because if you remember, the tavern is a couple 100 feet away from the main
Yeah,
city.
and it's like one side is like
Yeah, it's
cliff
about
wall. and
400 feet.
yeah. Like one side is like the wall of a cliff, and the other side is just out to the ocean.
And just to be clear, not that I'm sure that this even matters. It probably doesn't. But you said they were found in indentations in the ground. So are these craters, or do they look like they were just forced into the ground? Like someone hit it with a substantial amount of force, enough to dent the ground, but not create a substantial recess.
More the latter.
Yeah, they're not craters in the ground. It's not like you found them 5 feet in the ground in an indentation. It's like they left a small imprint.
Okay.
So they impacted the ground enough to force part of the ground down, but without destroying the body.
Okay.
Or the part, I should say.
Yeah.
So that makes it seem kind of like something's maybe slammed into him from above, from high up.
Mm-hmm.
And I guess if it was flying from high up and hit him in the chest, that would kind of explain why the legs weren't indented, because that's just not where the majority of the impact force was.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking when something dove through his fucking torso. Or into, maybe rather.
I feel like I was trying to be helpful, and I just ended up saying a bunch of things that we'd already confirmed. I don't know.
You're good.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm not sure on how further to proceed.
One other bit of information I'm not sure would even be convenient or anything is the things that we saw in the sky when we first got to High Gulf. Would that possibly have anything to do with what we found? Or
No.
Mm-mm.
Okay.
No, the things we saw in the sky were a manifestation of powerful necrotic magic.
Okay.
To your credit, though, you can't really count them out. You don't know what they're capable of.
This is true. I don't know anything about them other than people saw them. Or saw something.
And we haven't seen them since. And they were accompanied by biting and bitter cold.
Yes.
So it's not like we could ignore it. It'd be easy to miss. It'd be noticeable in some aspect.
Probably. Yeah. Yeah, I'm stumped, honestly.
Yeah, I don't know what else to do in the current moment.
Wish I did, but I don't.
Guess we're just going to be waiting for Briar and K2 at this point.
Mm-hmm.
All right. So what's your plan?
We wait.
Gonna hang out at the bar? Or are you just gonna stay where you're at?
Uh,
Or are you gonna
find somewhere that I can have enough open space to practice the way of the Bushido with my daughter. Make her a mini weeb.
God. I hate the way you said it.
That's exactly why I said it that way.
Fucking weeb. God damn it.
At some point, Rava will go home to like send a message to mom and be like, "Hey, you let his family know some shit's happened. Some
Okay.
shit's happened."
Yeah.
But, yeah. Not a lot.
Yeah, there's plenty of open space around for you to practice the way of the Bushido.
It sounds so weird coming from Josh.
Yes, it does.
It felt weird saying it.
I'm so glad you did. Thank you.
Practice being a weeb.
Yep.
Anyways.
Yeah. And, that's, I guess you guys wait around. Rava sends a message to her mom. And several hours later, K2 wakes up.
Good. You know, crow's nest probably wasn't the best idea. I think I have a crick in my neck now. Oh, hey there, Callion.
Oh, there you are. The hell made you climb up there?
When have you ever seen me climb?
Yeah, I didn't
Exactly.
climb. I fell upwards.
What's going on?
Yeah, we found another body.
Oh shit.
Yeah, the rest of them are. I don't know. They went to go get some breakfast, so.
Well, alright then.
They might still be there. I don't know. I guess we could swing by.
Sure.
But yeah, it's the bard.
What?
The bard that Briar had issues with, or Rava had issues with.
He's not a dragonborn.
Yeah, we know. We found parts of him. It's a long story. I'll tell you on the way. Come on.
Okay.
Well, not really a long story. I'll tell you what I know on the way there.
Alright, feather fall down and then we go. Magic.
Of course.
Such an excessive use.
Dude, do you
Even with the
know
first
how
level
many
spell.
fucking days I go that I just have more? Like, I always end days with first level spell slots. I never go through all of my first level spells.
Well, yeah, I know. It's still just like, okay.
It's just a show-off trick, basically.
Yeah, it is.
I can use my warlock spell slot and get it back later.
Stupid.
Man, there's so many ways of making more spell slots. It's ridiculous.
Alright, let's go. Cool. We meet it back up with everybody else.
Yeah. They're all like hanging out near the crime scene.
I I like to think Briar still hasn't shown up, so we're just like, we don't.
Oh yeah, she hasn't.
Yeah.
Oh God, she's dead. Oh wait, that's the
Oh
Discord thing.
god. So,
Good morning.
it is very much not.
It is for you.
That's not how mornings work.
Semantics
Is if you
aside.
don't give a shit.
That's fair. So what's the
Bye-bye.
oh bye. What's the plan here, guys?
We had trouble trying to figure out more details about what we found. We'd let him know about the impressions. We'd let him know the rough time frame that we last saw him and then discovered part of him. And basically as much information as we have learned so far.
I see. So you can't really talk to him, and so all that's left is my way of finding out exactly what happened.
Yeah.
Basically, we couldn't think of anything else.
Alright. Well, it's definitely weird that it's an it's going outside of the MO of the killer if it was the actual person, but the theory that maybe he witnessed something or knew something that sounds plausible.
Yeah.
Possible is related, that's about it.
Yeah.
Non-scale folk and being a known quantity of infamous in nature both lie outside because the apothecary owner, while maybe not known very well, was still non-dragonborn.
Well, also, technically, like, the killer didn't kill the apothecary. We did.
Okay.
We just did it by accident.
Yeah, by accident.
But anyway, I get what you're saying. Like,
Yes.
but like that was like clearly like cleaning up loose ends. Where this is a bit more kind of
Up in the air.
yeah, like
so to speak.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right. Well, let's go see what happened. Maybe he did see something, and if he saw something, maybe I can see it too. To the body. Doo-doo-doo-doo.
All
right.
Walk 3 feet.
like yeah. Yeah.
I thought you guys were like at a bar or something getting
No,
food.
he said we were hanging out near. They were hanging out near the body. So
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
We went and got food like 6 hours before you woke up.
we didn't really establish where we were going to be after the fact.
All right then. All right. So, after getting a rough estimate of the time of death, I will cast
Lovely.
my spell. Impressions of the past.
All right.
every time.
1920s, yeah, 1920s real sounds.
Yeah, you cast your spell, and you see as you turn into the night before. Sounds like you're morphing.
Yeah.
It's more
I think he still looks like the night before.
Yeah. As you travel back to the night before, you see Silverton's traveling bard slowing down to more of a calming pace before entering this space that you can see now, and the bard stops in his tracks and then looks around and like, almost puzzled, and then speaks something out loud, but says nothing as no words come out of his mouth. Before a split second later, appearing from the ground 5 feet away, rocketing itself forward,
Oh, fuck.
is the same Blattrell that you saw in the previous vision, as it opens its jaw wide, lunges through his torso, taking his heart with it, and then back into the ground as chunks of the body just spray out in all directions. And you see, as a, kind of the last little bit of it, the tail whips up and smashes the jaw from the head that's now severed from the body and sends it flying.
So we were right about what happened.
Do it.
Kinda, yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I guess it's hard to tell if the tail flick was like an intentional thing or like some kind of just unconscious motion.
Hard to tell, but because
Yeah,
it's part of the swimming into the ground, it could be either one.
Yeah, exactly. Because of the exact movement going on, it could be either.
So, and just to understand this perfectly, and I'm guessing that entire engagement was silent, right? Not just the part where he went to
The
speak and no
whole
words
thing
came out.
silent.
Yeah.
Okay.
Sounds like
Like the zones were
someone's
silenced him.
silent spell.
Yeah. He probably walked into it, realized it, spoke, and then.
Also, one last quick question. The imprints of the body on the ground, what caused that?
The force of them hitting the ground.
Yeah,
Yeah.
the body parts went flying.
Yeah,
They went into the air and then came back down.
Just the force of them going through his chest.
Yeah, the Blattrell just fucking dove through his torso and split everything else. That's why like the legs and the shins don't have any impact force because they just fell.
Yep.
Fair enough.
Where everything else was scattered. Yeah, so I guess after K2's personal movie reel ends.
Yep.
I like to picture that his eyes have like the static effect almost.
That's pretty funny, actually. Or it's just like the they're like glowing, but it's like the glow of like a film reel projector.
Yeah, where it's got like that kind of graininess to it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And just like the shuddering light.
Yeah, exactly. His eyes are just blinking really fucking fast. He's just like, oh, don't look that.
It's like when Doctor Strange was looking into the future, seeing all the possibilities.
Except this was the past.
Yeah, looking into the singular past.
With all the head jerking excitement.
Yep. Anyways.
So, yeah, I'll share with them. It's the same one that killed the guy outside the bar, the one that was doing land swimming. And also, I'm pretty sure whoever killed the guy at the boat that made him climb on top of the mast and then hung him. Pretty sure they helped because of the silent spell. So that means we're dealing with the spellcaster. So I think it's a 2-person job here: spellcaster and land swimmer.
It's entirely possible, yeah. It does seem to make the
The one killed by rope, somewhat of an outlier, though, considering every other kill, at least as far as we can tell, was via the Blottrels. Blottrel, singular. Possibly not worth getting hung up on, though.
At
The
this
only
point,
Oh, go
go
ahead.
ahead. Sorry.
I was just gonna say, like, we still don't know who the spellcaster is because every vision that involves them, they are nowhere near the actual killing, so they know how to cover their tracks at least. So I think our best option is trying to find the land swimmer, which, I mean, Josh, was there any like identifying marks to like be able to tell the difference between this Blottrel and the other Blottrels?
The only big difference is that this one is a little bit bigger than the other ones that you've seen. And in addition to the claws that they normally have, this one also has a spike that can protrude from its forearm,
Okay.
which you haven't seen present in any others.
Okay.
But that's not something immediately noticeable. Considering it's a protruding thing, not just constantly there.
Correct.
Yeah. Well, it's definitely bigger than any other Blottrel that I've seen, though. So that's one possible avenue. We can go looking for a big Blottrel. The question is like, who will we even ask? Because like the only I don't want to say the Queen is the spellcaster, but she's the only other spellcaster I know about in this fucking city, other than like us and the Shadow people, which I'm pretty sure they're not like they're hunting the people doing this, so I don't think they're involved. So
I don't believe so either.
yeah.
I hate to say it, but the more we investigate, the more this looks suspicious.
I mean, yeah, exactly. Like, there's no like damning evidence, but it keeps pointing. We keep being like led back to her.
It doesn't look.
It doesn't look good, no, but
Yeah, I was gonna say that at this point, do I think we should tell her everything? No, but at least about the Blottrel. Go from there, because we're not getting everywhere, but she's super familiar with all of them. So
I mean, I will say it is somewhat interesting that her situation that she found herself into high golf with is similar to the original Blottrel. But I don't think that proves or concludes anything.
It does make me quite suspicious.
Yeah. But what I was gonna say also is like I don't really know how to find this big Blottrel because the only ones I can think of that would know the big Blottrel would be other Blottrel, and I don't know if they would be willing to talk to us, or at the least, if they were, if they do talk to us, I don't think they would give up one of their own. That's my feeling.
It's possible.
I mean, it's at least looking into.
Yeah, I'm not saying we shouldn't do it. I'm just saying probably won't work.
Yeah. prospects aren't great.
Yeah.
Who knows? Maybe
Some
we'll get
plan is
lucky.
better than no plan.
Exactly. So do we attempt to see if the Queen knows anything, or do we attempt to try to ascertain that for ourselves?
My fear is that if she is working with them every time we go back to her, we only make ourselves more evident as a threat to whatever her plans are.
It is possible. We did not. All the bodies until now have had their jaws intact. I did speak to her yesterday about words spoken with the dead.
Yeah, it's kind of convenient that that happened immediately following after us talking with her about the... So, yeah, I think she is kind of working with them. Probable.
So
not
while I
confirmed.
I cannot say she is for certain, I would think it foolish of us not to consider it a likely possibility.
It's a convenient answer, but maybe not the correct one. Nevertheless, it should be considered. I agree.
Yeah.
This consideration doesn't get us any further to an actionable plan, though.
No. But the simplest answer is most often the correct one. I think at present, it may be best to. I worry about Sheer. He's clearly a very capable fighter, but anyone can get caught off guard, and if he's acting, even with the kobold in tail, he may be in danger.
I don't think so.
Even the greatest of us can be surprised.
Every one of these individuals have not had much in the way of defending themselves. Cher openly wears a weapon. I think if the spellcaster is the mastermind behind this and the Blottrel is simply their physical instrument, I think they might be smart enough to understand not to attack Cher. If this is the Queen, especially so. Her working in somewhat of an official capacity with Cher casts a bit of a misdirection. If our worry is to the Queen, then perhaps we should not visit her and perhaps try to ascertain for ourselves before we go any further.
That would be the wise move.
We might get nowhere with it, but the information might not spread as quickly if we go to the Blottrel instead of to the Queen. Right now, with the evidence presented, I suppose it would be wise to assume that she might have something to do with it.
Yes. We shall avoid her at present and look for our own answers. Really, other than all of the victims, most of the victims being Dragonborn, or at least potentially Dragonborn adjacent,
Being scale folk.
yeah, we don't have really any sort of connective thread here, do we? Like, other than like these are like happening at night, like they're not happening in the same places.
So they're happening at night to scale folk who are relatively unknown.
And the other thing tying everything together is we keep finding them. Us.
Yeah,
every time.
well, yeah.
Oh,
I
but
mean,
the very first one. Yeah.
Yeah, and also the second one, Sheer also found it as well. But yeah, the bard is the major outlier here, being non-scale folk, someone of renown, even if it is infamous renown.
Yeah, he was known. Like,
Yeah. He was a known.
he wasn't an unnamed person.
Which maybe indicates an evolution, maybe indicates just a crime of circumstance. Hard to tell, hard to say. All we know is how he died, we don't know why. And absent his jaw, we won't get to know. Because you can't cast Regenerate on a corpse. It is an object, not a creature. Even though that would be a waste of a 7th level spell, which I think K2 already used to cast the Person of the Past. So it would be a waste to use the 8th level one and just go by it yourself.
Yeah.
Yeah, I guess at this point we can try talking with the Blotch Roll and see if that goes anywhere.
One other thing to question.
Hmm.
If the queen is involved, why did she bring me back?
Leverage, misdirection.
Plausible deniability.
Yeah, that's fair.
Or it could just be that you weren't who she intended to kill, and she doesn't want to take unnecessary victims if it can be avoided.
I mean, to be fair,
Mhm.
the Blotch Roll didn't kill Darkalion.
Yeah.
Cheer did.
Yep.
They just took him under the waves. Maybe to bring him to the queen, maybe not. We don't really know.
Right now, it's looking a little suspicious.
Yeah, there's enough suspicion cast that we can't rule it out as an option, but we don't have enough. Well, we don't have any actual evidence pointing back to her definitively.
Yeah.
I mean, I guess it's how do we even go about gathering new information? Like it's hard to predict where these events are going to occur, or like because it's not like it's necessarily a nightly thing. We don't even know where to be or when or what we would do in that situation because we still haven't even caught a glimpse of the people controlling the Blotch Roll.
They have happened roughly around us, though.
Most of them, anyway.
Well, the first one we either weren't here for or weren't aware for. The second one happened near the weathered ship, where we all were at the time. The kobold happened near the ship that Salix has. The fourth one happened on the dock after we had departed, after getting our asses fucking soundly handed to us.
Soundly.
And then this most recent one, while we were close to the Cursed Princess.
Mm-hmm.
Honestly, I didn't play it out.
It's possible that might be intentional. It's also possible that this is just a plot contrivance by Josh, so that we actually find them.
I don't know. I guess it's like the question I end up asking myself is if it is intentional that these keep happening near us, either someone's like trying to intimidate us or they're trying to like frame us for these things. And it's like, I don't understand why that would be. Not any of us have really been here very long or have any strong ties to this place.
I don't think framing
Holds up
us.
hand.
It's a
I
good
don't-
idea.
Yeah, I don't think framing us would make much sense, seeing how like we've like they're allowing us to investigate this. Like the guards have like
Recognize us.
they recognize us as investigators.
Yeah.
And,
Also,
like if they were trying to frame us for these killings, they're not doing a very good job of it.
Yeah, so
Well, they technically
yeah.
can't frame me for these killings.
Yeah.
also,
Well,
Only 2 people get that.
yeah, yeah. The rest of us have no idea that you can't kill anything. We assume you're just as deadly as the rest of us.
Yup.
also asterisk sale. Kassam is born and raised here.
Oh, okay, fair. My
Well-
bad.
Well, yeah, but the point just simply being that, yeah, like Mike said, if they're framing us, they're doing an incredibly bad job at it. We could just wait another night and find another body.
Oh my
Terrible
god.
idea.
Terrible.
It's a terrible idea that I don't think any of us, both in and out of game, really like to consider. But
Mhm.
I think we should at least try to like even just like going underwater again and just looking
Yeah.
for big blotchel. Like that's,
Yeah,
that's at
yeah,
least something.
yeah, that's what I'm saying. We do, at least right now.
Yeah. I guess it's just like, not that I think that's a bad idea. I think that is our best move to go forward. I guess
Just
Mike can.
Fucking do something.
Yeah. No, it's just like, what are we gonna do? Like, if we're in the water with this thing, though, like, yeah, there's a bunch of us, but it can probably like swim faster than us. Like, should we have some sort of idea of like a method to capture it? Are we just going to try and talk to it reasonably? Because this is like a monster, right? I assume it doesn't want to just have a friendly chat with a bunch of land folk.
I mean, you would be surprised how many times an animal just wants to be hurt.
I don't think the sentience of Blottrolls is fully understood.
I've had very interesting conversations with turtles.
Or maybe perhaps the better word of sapiens. We don't necessarily know if they have the concept of communication and self outside of what people might assume they do. We don't know what's up with this Blottroll. We don't know if it's doing it of its own accord, if it's being manipulated. Who the fuck knows?
Yeah, I guess my point was that like if it's a creature of low intelligence that can barely speak or not speak at all, I don't know what, if anything, we would get out of it. And if it is intelligent, I guess I can't assume malice on the part of this creature because we are also assuming that it's being controlled or being compelled to do these things, so it may not enjoy doing them.
I mean, we're not necessarily assuming that's the case. It's just a potential option. We don't know.
Yeah.
It's not like K2's Impressions of the Past can like center on the Blottroll for a day. Like we get a moment of impact with none of the context behind it.
Yeah. Well, still better than nothing.
Yeah, like
I guess let's just let me stop wasting everybody's time. Let's just go to the water.
Yeah, we like most things we do. If we have a plan, it's not going to survive first contact.
Yeah, no, we're just gonna have to fucking brute force this like we do everything.
That's kind of how D&D ends up working. We had a plan. We tried to activate the plan. The plan didn't work. We throw away the plan. We go.
So you guys are going to the water?
Yeah.
This
Yeah.
is mostly just because I'm confused. Is Rava there? Is she not?
That's up to you.
Sure.
Okay. Yeah, it just kind of depends on if you would have gone back after contacting your mother.
I mean, yeah. This is me honestly just confused and struggling with two people.
That's all right. Yeah, so you guys, the 6 of you then.
No, there's 7.
Seven of you then.
Yep.
Would are you going through the way that the queen showed you, or are you going through the way just jumping into the water? Through one of the holes in the dock. or off the dock, you know?
Hmm?
Well,
I feel like taking her preferred path might alert her to our presence.
It might also potentially be beneficial. Depending on how intelligent the Blotchel are, they might think that we're also working with the Queen and might be a little more amenable. Maybe, maybe not.
Depends. Does it fit a large creature?
Probably not.
No.
The bear may have to stay. The owl bear may have to stay on land.
Yeah, I think it's like a tight squeeze for like Salvix and Serenix.
I ask because I'm not looking to be hamstrung today.
Hey man, we all end up that way sometimes. You don't always get to be as effective as we like.
is there a reason why we wouldn't want to just jump right in and just dive down?
My thought is maybe taking the Queen's path might make the Blotchel think something different, but we also don't know if that would even do anything. So,
Considering we've already
like-
encountered
we don't have a conclusive reason to take it. So
I think it's entirely possible that he may think we're allied to the Queen because we're using her passage. I think it's also just as, if not more so likely, that he'd be like, "Oh, intruder in the tunnel. I'm going to go tell the Queen."
potentially.
It's also completely possible that we've already met the Blotchel once, and they've been amenable to me once before. After,
Was that the larger than average Blotchel, or just
No,
a
it
regular
was just-
sized
no.
Blotchel?
We haven't seen anyone that we've noted as larger than average, except for K2
Okay,
And-
so yeah, so
in the reels of time.
God damn
yeah,
it.
so it wasn't that one then. It was a different.
Well, it could have been. We don't know. We haven't seen enough Blotchel to necessarily be like, yeah, that's definitively larger or not.
Well, no, but I mean, if K2 saw the did K2 see the Blotchel that Kasam interacted with? Because I think between that and his vision, he would be able to delineate whether one's bigger than the other.
Yeah, that's fair.
Well, I mean, we talked to Blotchel once before when we went down trying to follow Sheer underwater. So, know what
Yeah,
a normal Blotchel looks like, and this one looks bigger than that one. So
That's true. Okay.
Yeah,
So,
yeah,
no.
that's the point I was making.
Yeah. No. So, ultimately, to answer the question first initially asked, no, there's no reason we have to take the Queen's way, so we could just jump into the water straight.
Mhm.
see, because my thinking is that like her path could be like watched.
Trapped?
Yeah.
That too. I was considering trapped is also another thing.
I don't think the Queen would trap it, but watch makes more sense.
Yeah, and so like maybe like if bigger than usual Blotchel, maybe it gets warned that we're coming, and then it just like swims away, and then doesn't come
Mhm.
back until after we leave, and then yeah.
Mhm.
So I think we should just grab some weights and just sink.
I know you said weights. I heard grab some whites and just sing.
Nice.
Sadly, they're not. Sadly, they're dense, but they're not that dense.
I mean, yeah.
Alright.
Jump in the water.
Yeet.
Just gonna hold on to Sentinel as we dive in. He's definitely large enough, I think.
Yeah. So you guys casting water breathing on yourself, I'm assuming?
Yeah, I was gonna be like,
Yeah.
what you guys doing?
Yeah, yeah.
Oh yeah, I was gonna say that, and then someone said something else, and then it got lost. But yes, I was gonna cast water breathing on everybody.
Yeah.
Sounds good.
I mean, between Sentinel, Salvix, and Serenix, there's probably enough weight to take the rest of the party down.
Yeah. You guys descend now that you can breathe water. Water. You descend.
I can breathe Walther.
Both her. Yes.
Can breathe.
I can breathe Walter.
Ew.
Hey yo, Mr. White.
I would rather breathe Walnut.
Anyways.
You descend to the bottom, and it's the same calm, like almost eerie feeling as it always is when you come down here. The Blatro are swimming around. Some of them do appear to be conversing with each other, or at least standing so that they're facing each other, like
Look
a
as if they're
couple feet
conversing.
apart. Yes. If they have noticed you, they do not care of your presence.
Look over at Kasam, who was the interpreter, or Rava. I don't know if Rava is able to talk to the Bottrol. Do they speak Aquan? Is that what their language is? I don't know.
Yeah, you have no idea. They haven't ever spoke to you.
I don't know.
Krista personally doesn't know because it wasn't specified before.
Well, I know I can speak to them. I don't know if anybody else.
Yeah, Sam can speak to them because of his natural speak.
Yeah, because of this block of text.
Yeah. Which, for all we know, isn't actually a language. He's just really good at reading the body language of creatures. Who knows?
Ow.
Oh my
You
god,
good?
he's dead.
Don't choke.
Joshua, you okay, honey?
Yeah. This is really gross. But I was hitting my vape, and then I burped, and the two things collided, and it
You're
wasn't good.
It's never fun.
That's what you get for vaping. Haha.
Yeah, no, I need to stop. I started vaping so I would stop smoking cigarettes, and now I'm just vaping all the time, and it's not any better for me. I need to stop.
Same.
Yeah,
Right. So, anyhow.
One blue screen later.
I mean, absent any proper ability to speak with these things, as far as we know, only Kasam can.
So there you go. Kasam, you got this.
Unless they have a language that I could understand. So
Right.
I think we
but
figured out
we
last
don't
true.
know yet.
I don't. Yeah.
Well, they've just never spoken.
Yeah, they've only indicated like hand motions and body language. There hasn't been an actual voice.
Yeah, so they understand what you're saying. They just have never responded verbally.
Correct.
So I guess we'll find a blot troll and start asking around. See if we can find somebody who has seen this larger than average one.
Alright, so you approach the nearest Boitro. And it's just pauses and turns to you. And looks at you quizzically.
Sort of give it the, like, don't mean you any harm, just want to ask a couple questions.
Oh god,
can
it
be
means
fun.
us harm.
It's coming right for us. No.
It awaits your question.
Have you seen a larger than normal version of your kind around? I've been sort of give it like a description of what I've been told this thing looks like.
It looks at you confused.
Don't know how to quite phrase. I sort of looked at K2 and then like, I don't know quite how we want to phrase this. To see if this one might know what we mean.
Did it just get really quiet, or did I get like?
No.
Oh,
Hey,
go
go.
quiet.
No, I think we're all thinking.
Do we want to ask if there's somebody in charge down here, like a leader?
It might be useful.
I'll ask it if there's someone, if there's like somebody in charge down here that we can speak to.
It shakes its head no.
It's not a collectivized society. If this entity in question is larger, it might just simply be older.
Are there any elders among your kind?
What is an elder?
Someone
Oh, hey, it actually.
older? That's a little taken aback, but yeah, someone older than typically like the youngest of your kin?
Hold on. It spoke.
Yes.
Did that
Did
speak
it speak?
common, or
Yeah.
was that only like something I understood?
It spoke in a language that only you would know at this point.
I'm not even
Okay.
my monk thing.
Sad.
Well, your monk thing, yes, would pick it up, but it doesn't tell you what language it is.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, yeah, you can at least understand it.
I can translate what I'm hearing to everybody else. And I will do so. And if need be, I can ask it questions that anybody else has. If it can understand me, I'm assuming it can.
Well, yeah, they have understood us before, they just haven't spoken in response.
Somebody older than the youngest.
That's
Is most of
everybody.
us.
Yeah.
So like somebody older than you, perhaps, who's been in these waters.
There are prime guardians amongst us, yes.
That's Jonathan.
Prime Guardian, you said?
Older. Superior. Prime. The first of our creatures.
Would they be willing to talk, or do they keep to themselves?
If you wish to talk to them, you must find them.
They are doubtful to stick to the shores. I fear.
I take. Does that require us venturing further down into the depths?
Further out into the oceans.
Much further.
Are the Prime Guardians the elder beings of the seas?
No.
I take it that is a completely different creature.
Yes.
I guess I'm assuming until you say otherwise that it's speaking only to that Darkalian, and because I'll understand.
Yeah.
Dark Island said that he was translating.
Yeah.
So.
I'm translating everything back to you guys that I hear. So.
Yeah. It's more of just. Yeah.
And
For
you
my
guys
own.
say, I translate to them. That you want to ask, of course.
We're dual translating.
Yeah.
I'm just not going to repeat it because that's just going to slow things down.
Yeah, it doesn't need to be repeated.
Fuck. There's one that we've seen that's bigger, meaner. Seems to attack those above. You know of them?
No.
I assume most of you tend to keep yourselves separate from us.
You live on the land. We live in the water. Natural boundaries.
Mm-hmm.
You venture here with your magic. Or some of you can breathe both air and water.
I believe it's magic that allows this one to be above the waters.
Then they understand magic better than I do.
Have any of your kind taken a particular interest in the surface world?
All of us have some interest in the surface world.
More so.
Not that I'm aware of.
If we wanted to talk to one of these guardians, maybe he knows where we can find them.
He said we'd have to seek them out,
Right.
but I guess that doesn't necessarily. That doesn't necessarily mean he doesn't know where they are.
Yeah. Because either who we're looking for is a guardian, or the guardian might know who we're looking for. So this guy knows where the guardian is. Maybe he can tell us.
What do you know where any of your prime guardians are?
They gather in our main city. Tell you where it is, I would be betraying my people.
Is there a way we can contact them? So that one of them can come to us, maybe?
Make a persuasion check.
Alright.
Maybe advantage.
Am I rolling, or am I helping someone else roll?
I've got a +10, so you can help. Well, I can't. Well, I know
I'm talking about, like, yeah, I'm saying, like, because I'm asking it, but then, like...
Do you want like myself or?
Well,
Yeah,
what's
I
your
don't know
bonus?
that.
To
Am I
persuasion?
helping Kassam, or am I the one rolling?
Yeah, I guess in this case, yeah, you would either be Kassam or Darkalion making the roll.
Oh, yeah, because...
Yeah, because I'm the one that's actually verbally asking it, but he's asking the question, so it's confusing like that.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Well, I'm gonna cast Enhanced Diplomacy on Darkalion then.
So you said persuasion?
All right, you cast your spell and it swims away from you.
Yeah,
Every time.
casting spells can be interpreted as hostile action.
Not to mention, all it does is give advantage, which I was already doing.
Yeah.
Well, there goes
I
that
figured
one.
it was easier this way, so we didn't have to argue about who's doing what.
You just have to keep in mind that
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. I'm gonna write a sticky note right now. And I'm gonna stick it on my computer.
Guess the only real difference was whether or not it would have been if it was persuasion versus my animal handling.
well, it doesn't
They're
matter.
not animals either.
Well, his ability lets him. Do it.
Oh, okay.
He
That's
can
why I
use,
was like, wait a minute.
yeah, he can use animal handling in place of charisma checks against beasts and monstrosities.
Cool ability, because animal handling doesn't really get used all that much.
Yeah, and he has fucking expertise in it.
What the hell? Really?
Um,
Oh no! God damn it!
You okay?
Oh yeah, no, I'm fine. I just gotta clean something up. So I'm going to be momentarily indisposed, but maybe that's a good thing. So I can't click on any of my spells. I will be back.
Oh, no.
Rip.
well,
Maybe somebody else can help us.
perhaps.
Go find another one.
And repeat the process.
Woo!
Alright, you approach another one. It notices you approach, obviously, and pauses its movement and turns to face you, confused on your approach.
Before we approach anything else, I would like to cast tongues on myself,
Okay.
just so this one doesn't also throw away. And I have advantage on the casting.
Perfect.
Wow.
Yeah. I know. I'm so great.
Holy shit.
Yeah.
Your spell fails because it's an advantage. Just kidding.
Wow.
Your spell fails because you hurt yourself to do it.
Oh, that's right. Your abilities, you have to.
Yep. I spend
Cause
HP to make
damage
spell
to yourself.
slots.
Yeah.
Oh god.
He's just. I like the picture. He's just like literally carving a magic rune into his tongue.
I mean,
Ah!
well, I mean, the way that it's not flavored how. The way I pictured it is just Salvix basically burning his life essence away.
Oh,
And
okay.
not necessarily bleeding himself.
I guess.
But
I like my version better.
well, I'm not playing a blood hunter. You already have someone who hurts herself in that way.
You don't have to be a blood hunter to do blood magic. Look at me.
I don't do blood magic.
Tomato, potato.
I know the martyr doesn't do blood magic.
But that's how I imagined it. If something is going to happen as a result of that, I've already done it. It is too late to change that. Continue,
That's
Josh.
fine. Yeah.
Okay.
Continue, Josh. My body is ready.
Well, I already said I was doing it.
You cast your spell.
Okay.
You approach this new Boitro that has stopped and is quizzically looking at the party that has just approached it.
This time we're going in with a bit more information. Now, if I remember correctly, we were going to ask about the Prime Guardians.
Yes.
We can certainly do that.
Be like, hey, trying to find the Prime Guardians. We've been told that we can't go to where they're at in your city. So, can you get a message to them?
And I suppose with tongues, I can also act as translator, and I have a pretty good persuasion modifier.
Just ask them, yep, can one of you relay a message to the Prime Guardians? We would like to speak with them.
All right. Do you ask it just like that?
Unless somebody else has something else.
I'm trying to formulate something. We seek an audience with the Prime Guardians, but we have been told that we are not allowed to enter where they dwell. Would you know of any way that we could possibly communicate with them without violating their sacred space?
We can fetch for one to come here.
How long might that take?
A day. Maybe two.
I'm gonna be so mad if the Prime Guardians are just Tritons. Because they totally fucking could be.
That's really funny.
Would doing so incur a price on our end?
Depends on what you ask them. If they deem your request to be not worthy of their time, they might just kill you.
Our request pertains to a blotterel that has been attacking people on the surface. Do the Prime Guardians have any inclination against those who live above the water?
I don't understand what you're asking.
I'm trying to figure out a way to rephrase that now. Do you know if the Prime Guardians have any bad feelings towards those who live on the surface?
Prime Guardians are defenders of our people. They don't deal with feelings with surface dwellers, unless that feeling is hatred to those that are attacking them.
I guess just kind of looking back and just... I don't know if Audience with the Prime Guardian will really get us anywhere else. They don't seem particularly perturbed by anything happening on the surface as long as their kind are not being attacked.
Might be worth mentioning that one of their own might be under the control of a surface dweller. They might take issue with that.
I don't want to state that as being the case if it turns out to be false.
Well, then we've got nothing to go on.
So I know, Ryan, you said this is a joke, but in the case that the Prime Guardians are Tritons, a Triton has just recently been killed.
It's true. Are the Prime Guardians defenders of all who live in the water, or just of the Blottrel?
Just of my kind.
Just so I'm operating under no uncertain terms, your kind include those of the Blottrel people and not those of the Triton, as he kind of as Zavis kind of motioned towards Rava.
The Tritons have been at war with my people for generations.
Well,
Understandable.
The only reason this one's allowed here is because you took the Queen's Passage the first time you came down.
so they remember us.
Well, maybe we should ask them about what relation they have with the
Yeah.
Queen.
Has the Queen been benevolent to the Blottrel?
Not all Blottrel. To us here, yes. She serves as our protector, since we have none of our kind here.
Have there been any attacks on your people recently?
No. Not in quite a while. We are very protected here.
Maybe ask them if they've had any dealings or run-ins with the Scale folk.
Are you aware of any issues that your people may have had with scale folk individuals who look similar to myself?
I know many creatures with scales. Which do you refer to?
Individuals more looking as myself, the dragonborn, kobolds, lizard folk.
No issues that I'm aware of.
I'm
They have
assuming
not hunted us for sport. There's been no wars. There is no peace, but there is no hostility.
Yeah, so it would not do well for us to be at war with those underneath the waves. Do you know if the Queen may have had any issue with some such individuals, or would you not be privy to those dealings?
I have no idea. There was one here recently that she spoke to, but that was a couple days ago.
Do you know?
That was the other day.
Do you know this individual?
No.
Oh, wait. One such as myself, not one, not a blotchel. Correct. Okay. Has she spoken to any blotchels as of recent?
Yeah, she was here this morning. She spoke with many of us on our way down.
Were there any that she may have given particular instructions to that you would be aware of?
Instructions, no.
Spoken
She
with
speaks as
perhaps?
friendly. Not of a queen down here.
Does she speak to a lot of you individually or as a collective?
As a group. Never individual.
I see.
If there are times that they are alone, I do not see it.
You do not have a leader or similar such to guide you down here.
We do not.
Your closest would be the Queen as your protector.
Yes. She cares for us like an older sister of sorts.
Do blotchel grow larger with age?
Yes. The oldest of our kind can reach the size of whatever that is. As this points like their clawed hand toward a sentinel.
It's just a slight.
Would that be approximately the size of your Prime Guardians then? Or are they even larger yet?
They would be the prime guardian size.
I
That is
see.
the old stage that they can reach.
Are there intermediary stages between one such as yourself and the Prime Guardians? Or is it
No, they
simply,
evolve like Pokemon.
or is it simply just a slow growth throughout the years?
There is a ritual that needs to be done before one can be considered a prime guardian.
Are there any individuals who might be approaching that stage in their life that you know of around here?
Not around here. There are hundreds of years to go for almost all of us.
Would you know which among you is the oldest here?
I do.
Do you know if they may hold any particular distaste for the surface world?
Nobody here holds distaste for your kind, or those that walk on the land.
If that is the case, this may be a more dire situation than they thought.
I am confused why peace is dire for you.
It is not that peace is dire, but that there may be something threatening that peace. We have evidence pointing to an individual of your kind that is attacking surface dwellers.
How would that be possible unless they came down here without permission?
We are uncertain. An alchemist of our worlds developed some sort of potion that allowed individuals to swim through the land, much as you and your kind do through water. And it seems that this particular blotterel has used such a device to enact their violence.
The magic of the surface dwellers is truly amazing. But I worry you don't know when to stop.
Fuck. Now I'm back to a point where I have a question, but Salvix doesn't know it. Because it's relating to the blotterel tier potions. And I don't know if anyone else here knows that except maybe Rava.
Yeah, Chris just a bit confused on what's happening.
We're talking with the blotterel,
Right.
and I trying to get anything out of it, and I don't know if they know about the blotterel tier potions that the alchemist of the Abric Apothecary. I don't know if they know anything about that, but Salvix doesn't know that that's a thing.
Right. Yeah, Rava was there, so she would.
Mm-hmm. Or at the very least, Briar told you about it too.
Yeah. Well, I was with Briar when she found
Right.
out about him. So,
Oh yeah, that's right.
yeah, that was on our fuck around mission.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know how well that would go, so it's kind of one of those, do we want to be done talking if it goes bad?
I mean,
It's not like we collected the tears. We didn't do that.
if the individual in question is dead, so even if it was an uncomfortable act, at least it will no longer continue.
Cool.
I mean, at the very least, they're not attacking us right now because we've gone through the Queen's Passage, at least some of us. Us asking this question might just be like, okay, we're done here. But since we at least have some affiliation with the Queen, I don't think they're going to attack us unless we start it.
Right, and we have no intention of doing that, so.
Exactly.
I would say just make it clear that, like, that person was using them for nefarious means.
Well, for
potentially.
questionable means.
Yeah, questionable means. And we just want to know what power they hold. And yeah, I guess just emphasize the fact that this person is dead, so no one will be collecting their tears anymore.
Fuck me. Hold on.
Okay. I'm holding.
I feel like I remember something that might be relevant. Didn't the guy at the apothecary say that it was possible that you could turn into a blotchel if you drink that potion?
No, he said we had to find out. We assumed that because of the blood.
Okay. Okay, never mind. I thought I remember that, but yeah.
No, he wouldn't actually tell us what it did. He is more of like, you have to buy it and drink it and find out.
Mm-hmm.
And, we just assumed that the fuck around and find out potion was you turn into one, because the last we had with it was blood, which turned you into them.
Right.
So. But now it's like, okay, well, how do I want to fucking word this? Do we want to emphasize, like, hey, is this even possible? Or is it like, hey, do you know how he was getting access to this?
I mean, I have the words if you want me to just translate them. It's more just the fact of... It's more just the fact that Salvix himself doesn't know about it, so I wasn't going to bring it up unless it was brought up by someone else.
Brava herself will ask it if you give words.
Yeah. This same alchemist apparently was sourcing blood from tears for some manner of potion. Would you know any potential effects if someone were to ingest those?
No. That sounds ridiculous.
Almost as if farcical. And the ingestment of blushful tears would do nothing to potentially transform one into a blushful?
Why would you think that possible?
I do not know if the combination of surface magic and whatever potential magical properties would cause such a thing. This kind of magic is as strange to me as it is to you.
If I drank your blood, would I become one of you? Or your tears?
I suppose this is a fair point to make.
I'm unsure of where to go from here. Do any of you have any other lines of questioning?
I'm thinking, have we asked
I mean,
about
there's a tale of a Blottrel that turned into a person or something, right? We could ask him if he knows anything about that. Is it like it's not something I think is necessarily likely, but it's.
I don't know if we've heard a tale about that.
You've heard a tale of
Didn't
a
someone hear
person
something
turning.
about that?
The legend was that a person turned into a Blottrel, not that a Blottrel turned into a person.
Oh, okay. All right, well, thank you for clarifying.
We have heard tales of individuals not relating to the original Blottrel family that did find themselves turning into Blottrels. But I'm assuming that isn't something that you're aware of the process of.
I have not heard of this.
Might just be a surface story to keep children from staying too long in the water then. What were you saying, Nestor?
I was saying, have we asked about the any Blottrel with that sort of blade-like appendage on their arm?
Very succinct.
Yeah.
It has not been mentioned.
No, yeah, it hasn't. This Blottrel that we believe is causing harm to the surface, it possesses some sort of blade or spike-like appendage protruding from the wrist. Is this something common to your people, or?
Not uncommon. That is a weapon used by the Primes.
One of the adaptations they are blessed with as part of the ritual, I assume.
Yes.
I see. Is your community in communication with any of the other communities of Blanchard across the ocean?
Not directly. We can send messages, but we do not travel there. It is difficult to cross the ocean without a Prime to protect you.
The oceans contain many dangers. I see. And if this individual in question is a Prime, for them to attack the surface implies that the surface would have attacked them first. If I'm understanding how they operate as defenders of your people.
Yes, that is the status that they live by.
And if I'm understanding you correctly, that is something of a graven oath that they swear to not be the aggressors, but to be the defenders. Something that every Prime would take to heart very seriously.
There is no oath that is sworn during the ritual. They are defenders, but sometimes to defend properly, you also have to be the aggressor.
The Prime in question may believe that there is a reason to attack. I see. And from what I remember of what K2 saw, the only difference was its relative size and the blade protruding from its wrist. It didn't have like any distinguishing markings he could make out.
Mm-hmm.
Mm. Do you know if there are any communities of Blantrel near to Sarnath?
Not anymore.
I'm unfamiliar of any attack that might have been waged. Do you know what happened?
Explosions from big ships.
How recently?
A few years. Drove communities away. Further south.
Our Prime could yet seek vengeance for that act. I see. So just kind of looks back at the rest of the group if anyone has any further lines of questioning.
At this point, I am so lost, man. Like, I don't even know where to go from here. I don't even know if we've really, like, broken any new ground here.
Well, I am to assume that the Blottrel don't have any concept differences between like countries or people. It's surface dwellers and them, right? That's already been established, I believe.
Well, I think they do. They can delineate if necessary.
They understand what Sarnath is.
Yeah. Like they understand what Sarnath is. They understand what Tritons are. Like they can probably delineate between different races of surface dweller, but if not required to, they would just refer to them as surface dweller. That's at least the impression I'm getting from at least this Blottrel.
Yeah. We figured out that it's one of their leaders doing this, but I don't know. I mean, like, other than that, have we? I mean, have we learned much? Does this change much? Like, where do we go from here?
It gives us another potential motive.
I mean, kind of, but I mean, like, it makes sense that the rank and file wouldn't know everything that their big bosses are up to, but I feel like if one of their bosses had beef with the surface dwellers, like personally, that's something that they would know about.
Well, the primes aren't here very often. So, and I don't think that necessarily. I think that being disconnected as they are, I don't think they would know.
I mean, they're also protectors, though, aren't they? Don't you think if they saw someone or some group of people on the surface as a threat, that they would make that known to the others?
I mean, maybe. Is there some sort of
innate sense your people have for if a Prime Guardian is near, or
No.
perhaps maybe we should take them up on the offer then to speak with a Prime Guardian.
Didn't they say if it's like a waste of their time, they're just gonna kill us?
If we could assume a few things. If this is some sort of vengeance killing, perhaps we could broker peace. If it is a Prime going rogue, perhaps they would like to reel that in before it puts more danger to the people.
I'm more inclined to believe the latter. Were this a public matter or something where they felt that people were truly in danger, if they see the Queen as their protector and the threat was coming from the city, I feel as though they would bring it to her.
Has the Queen mentioned any such thing of these attacks on the surface to your people, or has it not come up?
It hasn't come up. They're surface attacks. Does not concern us.
Alright, that is what I figured. I don't know. K2, do you have any thoughts on this?
Nah, man. This is definitely a complex situation. It could have political ramifications. It could not have it. And
Especially
we're
with the
just,
complication of a Triton being attacked.
yeah.
The last thing I want to do is cause further bloodshed if we can avoid it.
I mean, like I said, if we're able to talk to one of these primes, maybe we can learn more about what's going on, and if maybe from that we can figure out where this older, bigger blot troll is hiding, and then we can deal with it. But that's under the assumption that they're willing to cooperate, just because one of their own is attacking people on the surface, and that's something they don't want. Because if that's if they've got beef with the scale folk and the Tritons, and this is just something that they'd be more power to them. They want to kill whoever they want, go ahead. Then yeah, I don't think we're gonna get much information from them. But if they care more about the peace, trying to keep it, then maybe we can get some information from them. But
And I guess the question is, do you think the potential risk is worth the potential reward?
well,
My question is, what is the reward?
the reward is information, so we can find this larger blot troll, take care of it so that people stop fucking dying.
Seeing as how the Prime Guardians are the defenders, they also seem to be something of de facto leaders. They may not wish to start wars with the surface, especially in a place that their people have protection from one of the surface dwellers themselves. We do also run the risk that potentially this is sanctioned by the Prime Guardians, in which case we get little to no information.
Well, on the off chance that it is sanctioned by the Prime Guardians, then that's at least information that we can take to Sheer and be like, yeah, this isn't an isolated incident where one crazy guy is killing all your people. This is fucking assassination shit. You got a whole underwater civilization trying to fuck you over.
For the most part, these killings have been all Dragonborn, aside from
the apothecary and the bard.
And the kobolds, but Scalefolk nevertheless.
Yeah.
Would it be safe to say that this would have to be a Prime Guardian that would have had to have been around Sarnath at the time of the when they were scattered to the wind,
Well,
from their
didn't the Blotchroll pop up after all that happened? Like the whole cursed family thing, wasn't that after the
Well, no,
the continent sunk into the ocean or whatever?
Well, the attacks on the Blotchroll happened recently from Sarnath.
Right, I'm talking about the family curse, and when the fucking
when the continent sunk from Sarnath.
Yeah. If it goes all the way back that far,
I mean the Blotchroll curse is 300 years old. I don't remember if we put a time on it, Josh, but I want to say that Sarnath's part of the continent thing was at least 500.
Yeah, the continent sinking was before
the Blotchrolls.
The Blotchroll.
So yeah, it's not any disgruntled people from the sunken part of the continent.
Correct. Yeah. Correct.
Yeah. So
it was just communities around the shores.
I'm just wondering if maybe this is a Blotchroll scorned by Sarnath.
It's likely, considering Sarnath basically just drove them from their fucking homes. That's what I mean by another possible motive.
Mm-hmm.
Because
I don't know, man. This whole situation's 3 smart, 5 me, dude. It's above my head. I don't get it.
in any case, for a Prime Guardian to get here, it will be a couple of days.
He said a day, didn't he?
A day, maybe 2.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm assuming on the long end. So we're assuming 2 days.
Alright, well, I guess we go fuck off for 2 days.
I mean, do we want to hole up in a cavern down here or go to the surface? Because we know there's an air pocket, at least in one of these buildings.
Yeah. Would you have a way of contacting us when the Prime Guardian is here? God. Salvatore asked the Blotchroll if they would have any way of contacting us. When the Prime Guardian arrives, if we do ask one to come here.
We can have your queen send you to us after she comes down for her morning gathering.
What if we don't want to involve the queen?
Then check back in tomorrow.
That we can.
All right.
Simple enough.
In such case, then we would like to speak to the to a prime guardian if possible. In any case, you've been very insightful, and we thank you for your time.
And with that, it just nods and swims off.
Okay.
Yep, surprisingly civil people.
Cool.
I don't know if surprising is the exact right word for it.
I mean, anyone can be civil so long as you approach them in the right way.
Well,
People who've been besieged by something outside of their control.
I'm gonna go ahead and leave what we do in the meantime up to you guys, because I need to go to bed. I gotta get up.
Okay.
Yeah. I'm just gonna call session here tonight.
Yeah.
So,
Oh, well, there we
Yeah.
go.
Yeah,
That's a good
next
place
session.
to call session.
yeah.
All right, so I'm going to end it here. So thank you guys for watching, and we will catch you next week.
Bye-bye.